We are not able to hear you, sir, as you are on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, now you are audible.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So my screen is visible.
Uh, yes, sir, it is showing some, we cannot see your PPT, but it is showing that you are trying to present. You are presenting. Your screen is visible, but I think you have not switched to that PPT screen yet.
One second. I shared.
Uh, you go to that share screen, and if you have opened that PPT in some window, so select that window.
I think I have shared now complete screen.
Okay, if you have shared your complete, now it is visible, sir. CFD
Okay.
applications of hydraulic machines.
Yes.
Okay, so I welcome all the participants on behalf of A.D. Patel Institute of Technology, Mechanical Engineering Department, which is a NBA accredited department. So I welcome all of you on this session 3 of day 3. Our expert for this session is Dr. Sachin B. Paramane. Dr. Paramane was born in Walchand Nagar, India in 1979. He has completed his diploma in mechanical engineering from Government Polytechnic Karat in 1997. He has done his bachelor's from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli in 2000 and his master's degree in thermal engineering from IIT Delhi in 2002. The PhD degree is with a specialization in computational fluid dynamics from Bombay, IIT Bombay, Mumbai in 2009. If we talk about his professional experience, he has more than 14 years of industrial experience in R&D centers of various industries. He has worked at R&D Center of CG Power and Industrial Solutions Limited, Mumbai for 10 years. Engineering Research Center of Tata Motors Limited, Pune for 2 years, and R&D Center of Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Nasik for 1 year. Presently, he is working with Metal Power Analytical Private Limited, Mumbai as DGM R&D. His area of research interest includes thermal design and CFD analysis, HVAC and cooling systems of transformers. He also takes interest in development of state-of-the-art experimental facilities for validation of numerical analysis and development of mathematical models for accurate prediction of thermal system performance. He is a BEE certified. If we talk about his academic activities, he is a member of Board of Studies of Mechanical Engineering Department, Thapar University, Patiala, Punjab, and presently at GH Raisoni College of Engineering, Nagpur. He has 7 patents, 40 international journal and conference publication, and he has delivered a lot of talks and keynote addresses in the area of CFD and energy efficiency improvement of thermal system. He is also a reviewer of different scientific journals like IEEE Transitions on Power Delivery, Applied Thermal Engineering, International Journal of Thermal Science, Engineering Application of Computational Fluid Mechanics, and Journal of Power Technology. With such a big profile, we welcome our today's expert. We welcome you, sir. Now the mic is over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome. So today's topic of my presentation will be CFD application of hydraulic machines. So outline of my presentation will be introduction. I will discuss two different case studies related to hydraulic machines. Now, if we talk about hydraulic machines, it is not only related to water but also related to air. So I'll be considering fan as a hydraulic machine uh, uh, for giving case studies. So I'll discuss about the transformer cooling configuration systems, how these fans are used for the thermal system design of transformers. So where I will tell about how these heat exchangers, that is radiator fan configurations, are useful in the maintaining the temperature inside the transformer. So we'll discuss about different flow configurations, vertical airflow, horizontal airflow, then thermal performance comparison of different airflows for different types of fans. Then I will also discuss CFD analysis of a ceiling fan. That is also one of the machines, turbo machines or hydraulic machines, which we are taking into consideration, and followed by conclusions. So first introduction. Now, thermal management is an important aspect for efficient and reliable functioning of transformer. I will discuss about the transformers in the coming slide. So, for maintaining the temperature inside the transformer or radiator fan, that constitutes a major components of the cooling system. Now, if thermal management is not done properly, then there are chances of fire in the transformer. So there are these are some of the pictures which shows thermal imaging of the transformer. Then if there is a high temperature inside the transformer, the winding in the transformer gets burn out, and finally sometimes it leads to catastrophic failure where there will be large fire in the substations, and which will lead to a power failure in that region. So it is necessary that for optimal thermal design, transformer manufacturer uh, should design their system which will enable the proper cooling of the transformer. And they are also interested into reducing number of radiators and fans so that the cost will be saved, but without compromising on the thermal performance. Uh, am I audible? Hello? Can you
Yes, sir.
hear? Yeah. Okay. So first, we would like to discuss about what is a transformer. Basically, a transformer is a device that transfers electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit through inductively coupled conductors. That is called as a transformer coil. So this is a typical picture of a transformer. There are major components of the transformers are tank and winding, which is there inside the tank. So and this tank is filled with the oil. So this oil in the transformer acts as a cooling medium as well as insulation dielectric medium. And due to current carrying conductors in the coils, there is a heat which is generated um, inside the transformer, and that heat is dissipated to the oil. And finally, oil is circulated in the transformer, and then that oil dissipates the heat to the ambient air using the heat exchangers. So these are the heat exchangers which are called as a radiator. And there are fans which are used below the radiator to cool the oil. So hot oil is coming from the top of the radiator and goes below, whereas cool air is taken from the bottom of the radiator and it is blown over the radiator in the upward direction. So this is a typical cooling system of the transformer. Now there are different cooling modes of a transformer, and these modes are activated depending upon the load of the transformer. First cooling mode is ONAN, that is oil natural, air natural. That means oil is flowing in the uh, tank and a radiator in a natural convection. There is no forced convection. That means oil is also flowing in the natural by natural convection, as well as air is also uh, air outside the heat exchange is also moving in a natural convection way. So that is why it is called as a oil natural and air natural. So heat transfer from the oil to the air will be through natural connection. Next is oil natural air force. That means oil inside the transformer is um, flowing in a natural convection by natural convection, whereas air around the heat exchanger is forced using by using the fans. That's why it is called as oil natural air force. Air is forced over the radiator. Then, as load on the transformer increases, then oil is also forced inside the uh, tank and heat exchanger. For forcing the oil, this is a pump is used. So this pump forces the oil in the transformer. So it is called as oil forced and air forced. Oil is also forced as well as air is also forced. Next cooling mode is if load on the transformer increases further, then there is oil force and water force. So now water is used as a cooling medium instead of uh, air, so that heat transfer coefficient of using the water will be higher, and there will be large amount of heat can be dissipated in the water. So this is water force, air force. And last is oil directed air force. That means oil is directed to move over the winding. So these are the basic cooling modes which are used for the cooling of a transformer. Now, objective of the present work is to study the effect of offset of fans in a radiator assembly on thermal performance of radiators using CFD analysis. And second objective is to verify the consistency of the results from above for different direction of airflow. So this is a schematic of radiator fan configuration which is considered for the analysis. So these are the four radiators and two fans which are mounted below the radiator. Height of the radiator is 3 meter and fan diameter is around 1 meter. So if you see the top view, these are the radiator fins, and fans are placed at the center of the radiator, and these are in line. Both the fans are placed in line. Second configuration is the fans were offsetted. That means this left fan is made 300 below the center line, and this right fan is made placed at 300 above the center line. And these are the boundary conditions which are used for the different cooling configuration. Top oil temperature is 60 and bottom oil is 45. Top is here, bottom is here, and linear temperature is specified on the fins of the radiator, and ambient temperatures are shown over here. Now, boundary conditions and numerical methodology is shown over here in this slide. Air is prescribed as ambient temperature, and that is working fluid. Side walls are opening boundaries. Ground surface of radiator and fans are no slip wall. A rotating frame of reference is used for modeling of the rotating fan, because fan is rotated at certain RPM, and in order to model that fan RPM, a rotating frame of reference approach is used in the present case. Then shear stress transport turbulence model is used. So turbulence is also considered because the fan is rotating at high speed, so there will be turbulent flow over the radiator. Then influence of viscous dissipation is neglected as the fluid used is Newtonian, and radiation is also modeled. So discrete transfer radiation model is used for the modeling heat transfer from the radiation from the radiator to the ambient air. Now, before going for the simulations, first it is important that we should validate our results with some experimental data. So here, for validation of mesh numerical methodology, uh, airflow over the airflow of the fan is measured. That means this velocity at different sections are measured, and it is integrated over the area of this fan, and that is measured as a mass flow rate of the fan in the actual condition. And whereas simulations are then simulation is performed, and Airflow rate at the outlet of the fan is measured using the CFD simulation. So you can see that measured and CFD predicted mass flow rate is within 3.7%. That means the methodology and mesh etc. is very good, and we can go ahead with the simulation with using radiator and fan configuration. So this is the velocity contours at the center of the fan. You can see that there is a cone type structure when fan blows air in a free blowing condition. That means there is no obstruction above the fan. That means fan is allowed to blow the air freely in the uh, test room. So this is a free flow condition for the validation of the uh, experiments in the CFD simulation. Then the comparison of CFD analysis results is shown over here. So the velocity contours are shown for the four radiators and two fan configuration in a plane which is passing through the center of the fan. You can see that as air goes in the fin, it tries to escape from the sides. As it moves upwards, it tries to escape from the side. Then the impression of the collector of the radiator is seen over here. That means there is very small amount of air which is above this obstruction, and bottom figure is temperature distribution. So you can see that temperature distribution is just opposite to the velocity distribution. That means where velocity is higher, their temperatures are lower at those regions. And where velocity is lower, temperatures are higher, which can be seen over here in the bottom picture. Then this is a side plane. So here you can see the impression of the fan airflow over here, and these are the radiator temperature distribution, and you can see the effect of fan flow on the heat transfer coefficient. It means this is the region where air is directly hitting the radiator, and which shows the higher heat transfer coefficient. Now comparison is made with the actual measured condition values, and for ONF condition, CFD predicted results are within 5.4% for ONF, and for OFF it is 2.4% of the measured value. So whatever simulations we have performed, those are closely matching with the experimental result. So we can go ahead with the different iterations to improve the thermal performance of the radiator fan configuration. These are some of the airflow visualization, actually how airflow is happening between the fins, and these are the streamlines which are colored by the velocity, which shows the path and magnitude of the air velocity in between those fins. Now this is a animation which shows the airflow distribution in inline and offset configuration. So you can see how airflow happens in between the fins. As air moves in between the fin, it tries to escape from the sideways uh, as it moves upwards. I will show it once again. Air tries to escape from the sides, and for left fan it is towards the this corner, and right fan it is rightmost corner, and it will escape from the side, and there are impression of the higher air velocity in between the fins. So this is the way how airflow distribution occurs for inline as well as offset fans. Now here this bottom figure, it shows the airflow distribution at three different planes: bottom plane, middle plane, top plane. And you can see there is a large air velocity footprint at the bottom plane. As move upwards, air tries to escape from the sides, and at top there is large amount of air escaping from the side, as well as the magnitude of velocity decreases towards the top. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And this picture shows the when the fans are offsetted, how the airflow distribution occurs. Now, the comparison is made for airflow between two fins for inline and offset configuration. And this is a comparison how much air is in between the fins, which is going for the heat dissipation. So a comparison of heat dissipation is made, and it was observed that by just offsetting the fans by 300 millimeter in both the direction, we are getting improvement in the heat dissipation by 11% in ONF and 8.6% in OFAF. So you can see the comparison for ONF total airflow. Dashed line is inline and solid line is offset. So at the towards the end radiators, due to fans offsetting, the air total air mass flow going in between fins increases with the offset fans. Okay, so here you can see uh, this dashed line is for inline and solid line for offset fans. So with increase with the fan offset, there is significant amount of increase in the airflow between the fins, which in turn increases the heat dissipation. So if you can imagine 11%, uh, some transformer has a total load of around 800 kilowatt or 1000 kilowatt. So 10 or 11% of 1000 uh, kilowatt is around 100 kilowatts. So that is huge amount of savings which we can get by just offsetting the fans and mounting the fan position appropriately or optimizing the fan position. We will be able to get significant amount of the increment in the heat dissipation from the fans. Now, this earlier analysis was made for one particular type of fan. Now, it is important that if we use different type of fan, whether we are getting similar result, or if we change the position of the mounting of the fan in a horizontal way, whether we will get any improvement. For that, again, two case studies was simulated by using different type of fan. So this is a different type of fan, and here offset is 200 millimeter. This is inline and this is offset, and fan is blowing the air in the vertical direction. Similarly, fans are mounted on the sideways, and again fan offset was made as 150 mm inline and offset. So this is airflow distribution comparison with the when the fans are blowing air in a vertical direction. Left is inline and right is offset. So here also we can see that there is a sideways escape of the air from the when the fans are blowing the uh, air in a vertical direction, and when we offset these fans, then there is a significant amount of improvement in the airflow distribution over the radiators, and which will improve the heat dissipation from the radiator. So here what I have done is I have taken three planes, bottom, middle and top. Top line is with inline and bottom is offset. So by offsetting the fans, there is large amount of area which is covered by the air for the heat dissipation, and it improves the heat dissipation. Now here in inline configuration, this is the area of the radiator which gets wasted. That means the air is not reaching to these areas, and there is a reduction in the heat dissipation due to loss of areas which is not utilized fully for the heat dissipation. Similarly, at bottom you can see the temperature distribution. You can see here the inline configuration temperature distribution is quite on the higher side, whereas it is lower when the fans are offset. Again, here a similar comparison is made for both the configuration, inline and offset. And you can see that there is again a sideways escape of the air when the fan is blowing the air in the vertical direction. And here also we are getting around 10% improvement in of using different fans and by changing the offset. So this concludes that by just offsetting the fans in a vertical airflow, we are getting 10 to 11% improvement in the heat dissipation. Now earlier we have seen the when the fan is blowing the air in the vertical direction. Now this animation shows when what happens when the fans are blowing in a horizontal direction. Fans are mounted on the sides. So here you can see when the fans are placed on the sideways, there is escape of air from the top and bottom. This left one is inline and right one is offset, and you can check how air gets distributed over the radiator end in the horizontal direction. Yeah. So again, here you can see the uh, flow and temperature distribution. This is the flow distribution when the fans are velocity distribution when fans are inline and offset when they are mounted on the side. So you can see with increase in the offset, there is a increase in the area which is used for the heat dissipation that gets utilized significantly compared to when the fans are placed inline. Here you can see there is a significant amount of improvement in the heat dissipation with the when the fans are made offset. This is the comparison of the airflow between pins. Here these dashed lines are uh, offset, and you can see that there is increase in the heat dissipation. Now another thing you have to check consider is radiator 1 will have large amount of heat dissipation because those are mounted near to the uh, fan. Yeah. So this is the first radiator, this is second, third, and fourth. The radiator which is near to the fan will have maximum amount of heat dissipation because these are getting cold ambient air. As distance from the fan increases, it picks up the heat from these radiators and the air becomes hot. And then for the end radiators, actually hot air is blowing over the radiator. So you can see that there is a decrease in the heat dissipation as we move away from the first radiator. So this decrease in the airflow is 2%, 5%, 10%, and 14%. That means first radiator will get maximum amount of air and hence it has higher amount of heat dissipation. But as we move away from the fan, there is a gradual decrease in the radiator. Now this is for inline, and again for offset also same trend is observed, but a decrease in the heat dissipation is lower compared to the inline. Now, for this type of fan in the horizontal airflow, there is around 7% of improvement in the heat dissipation. Uh, sorry, with the fans offset. So, in conclusion, here effect of fan offset on thermal performance of radiators is studied numerically using CFD analysis. Then it has been observed that for vertical airflow, heat dissipation with fan offset increases by 11% and 8.6% for ONAF and OFF cooling configurations. And for other type of fan, heat dissipation with offset is observed to be increased by 10 and 6.8% for vertical and horizontal airflow. Okay, so this is one case study where fans how they are utilized effectively to increase the heat dissipation for improved thermal management of a transformer. So any questions you have? Because I'm going a bit faster. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So otherwise, we'll complete the next case study and then we'll take up any queries, questions.
Okay, sir. Carry on, sir.
Yeah. So this is a first case study of effect of fan offset on heat dissipation from the radiators of a transformer. Now, next case study is about the ceiling fan CFD analysis. Now, as you may be, as everybody is aware, ceiling fans are used as a hydraulic machine for air distribution, to improve the air distribution inside the rooms, or improve the ventilation inside the room, or move the air from one place to other place by using blades as a medium. So this is a typical ceiling fan which is placed on the ceiling of any room. Then there is a rotating frame of reference. Again, that concept is used. This is a computational domain, and there are two types of walls: outer wall and inner wall, which is used for the flow stabilization and CFD for analysis. Now, this fan is rotated at around 250 to 300 RPM, and you can see the picture. Top uh, top plane is taken at around 1 meter from the fan center, and this is a typical uh, picture of the airflow. So you can see that air movement in this top plane. When we take the cross section in the front plane, you can see this type of airflow distribution. So air is moving and it is hitting at the ground, and then it is going in the upward direction. So this is a typical airflow distribution which is occurring over the ceiling fan, and these simulations are done in OpenFOAM software. Then this is a typical pressure distribution, velocity distribution, which is happening over the fan blade. You can see that towards the tip of the fan velocity is higher compared to the middle of the fan. And this is a measured comparison is done with the measured values with three different mesh sizes. Mesh independent studies performed, and you can see that green line is matching quite well with the black line. That means our CFD prediction is very closely matching with the actual measured fan velocities and thus the air delivery of the fan. So these simulations are performed in a very accurate manner, and we are able to predict the air delivery from the fan within 3 to 4% of the measured value, which is quite significant. And different iterations were performed by changing the blade geometry and fan speed, and the fan geometry is optimized. So I think I came towards the end. This is I made it in a hurry. I just included two case studies for the application of hydraulic machines for thermal uh, performance improvement of the radiator fan configuration heat exchanger, and then the ceiling fan analysis. So I think I quickly finished the presentation. So I'm open for any queries if you have, and I'll be happy to answer your queries for use of the hydraulic machines for different CFD analysis. So floor is open for any queries. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think I quickly completed my presentation. So if you have any query or if you want to go have any query on particular slide or anything, participant can ask those queries.
So participants, if you have any queries, may please ask your queries. Uh, Sir, the analysis which you have shown for ceiling fan.
Yeah.
So the variation which is being explained by you, are they going to be uniform across all seasons? Because if you see, the room temperature is going to be changed. Let us say if
Uh-huh.
about across year, May,
Uh-huh.
or maybe. So what will be the change
Uh,
of?
Actually, yes, your question is quite correct. The temperature will affect the density of the air, and there will be uh, uh, change in the air flow rate as well as velocity. Now, here what we have done is we have actually measured the temperature as well. And in the simulation, ambient air conditions were mentioned for the analysis, and then analysis was performed at like-to-like condition, which is measured. Now, if there is an increase in the temperature, density will be a little smaller, and airflow will again change with decrease in the density. So there will have impact on the ambient conditions on the flow rate. But our objective is to benchmark the measured condition and predict the velocity and air delivery at those conditions. Now there are some regulations or standard such that the temperature measurement should or a measurement of air delivery should be done within the temperature range like 25 to 30 degrees centigrade where the density variations are not significant. So that is to be considered in the analysis. Furthermore, there is another factor which is moisture or relative humidity. It affects the air delivery of the fan, and that has also to be taken into consideration while performing this type of simulations.
Okay, sir. And let us say if we change this case to a table fan kind of case, you might have seen there are small
Yeah.
portable fans, let us say,
Yes.
which we can install
Yeah.
at any place. So because the blade length is going to vary in that case. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So what will be the change in, let us say, if we talk about similar such cases?
In table type of fan, the simulations can be done in a fixed position. Otherwise, if you swivel the fan, that means fan is rotating at its own horizontal center as well as its vertical center. Then that type of simulation is very complex simulation where you have to perform the mesh motion because your fan geometry itself is moving in a different direction. So it is better you keep the fan position at a fixed location and then perform the simulation and measure the air delivery at a certain distance from the fan, say 0.5 meter in a front plane, and you can measure the air delivery. But if you want to simulate in a moving condition, then that is a very difficult task, and in actual measurement also will be difficult when you have the moving fan condition. So better to fix a position of fan at and measure at particular fan speed. But such type of simulations are possible to do using CFD analysis.
Okay, sir.
Your boundary conditions and numerical details will remain same. There will not be any change. Only the location of the axis, rotation axis will differ.
Fine. So, if any participant have any questions, so they are welcome to ask their queries. So, sir, as you also uh, connected with us in first phase of this HTTP2. So as you are aware, let us say if there is going to be any query from participant side, so we will be compiling the same at our end and will forward you. I hope that.
That will be fine because I will be able to answer those queries if anybody wants to send the queries by email. So I'll be happy to answer those queries. There is no issue. You can send me the queries. I will reply those queries. There is no problem.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So with this, thank you so much, sir, for your extraordinary presentation skills and this session on CFD application of hydraulic machines, which mainly covers transformer, radiator for cooling with case study on vertical airflow and ceiling fan. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you so much for the information. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.